Programs normally seen at this time will not be presented tonight, so that we may bring you the NBA All-Star Game live and in color from Baltimore, Maryland.
From the Civic Center in Baltimore, Maryland, ABC Sports continues its full-color coverage of NBA professional basketball action. Tonight, top players from around the country are here in Baltimore as the East meets the West in the 19th annual NBA All-Star Game. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Gillette Foamy with lemon lime. Wait till your face gets a taste of it. By the makers of the 1969 Buick Riviera, an elegant personal answer to the question, wouldn't you really rather have a Buick? And by the cigar made with 4 Latin American tobaccos, Dutch Masters. You get a Latin American tour in every cigar. Yes, we're here in the Monument City, is often called, the city with the white marble steps, Baltimore, Maryland, as a record crowd of 12,621 are here to see the greatest basketball players in the world competing in this annual classic, the showcase of the stars, and it also indicates mid-season of the NBA season. While Baltimore is slowly getting over the shock of the Colts' loss on Sunday afternoon, the Bullets lead the Eastern Division of the NBA, and their president, Abe Pollin, is here with me to extend to all of you, wherever you are, a greeting from this very warm, hospitable city. Abe?
Well, thank you, Chris. We're very honored that the NBA game is here this year, and we're very, very happy that the Bullets, of course, are in first place, and it just is a very, very exciting evening, and we're very proud to be hosts of this great classic.
Thank you so much, Abe. Abe Pollin, president of the Bullets. Now, the commissioner of the National Basketball Association is here, as all the owners of the clubs have been having meetings, and he, of course, presides over them. J. Walter Kennedy, the commissioner, we're glad to have you in Baltimore, Walter.
Chris, we're delighted again to have our All-Star game, which, of course, is our great showcase every year on ABC from coast to coast. Our 5th year of ABC telecasting from coast to coast. This figures to be a real good ball game, as all of our games are, these All-Star Classics. So we're delighted that this tremendous crowd and great audience throughout the country is going to have an opportunity to see what we think are the greatest basketball players in the game.
Of course, we're proud to be doing it on television, and I guess, Walter, each year you shift the site for the All-Star Classic.
Yes, last year, of course, it was in New York. This year here in Baltimore. Next year in Philadelphia. And then the following year it'll be in San Diego. So we move around our 14 franchises pretty well.
Along with all our viewers, Walter, enjoy the game.
Thank you, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having the tap-off, the center jump here momentarily. And tonight on the American Broadcasting Company, ABC Television, at 9 o'clock, we will go to Washington for live coverage of President Johnson's State of the Union address. With this reminder that following his address, we'll return to the Civic Center here in Baltimore, Maryland, live and in color, to bring you the entire second half of action, along with videotape highlights of what happened while we were gone. Yes, the NBA All-Star Game, 24 of the finest players in the world. The winners, $500, the losers, $300, but more important, to have been named, to have been chosen by the press to represent the East as an All-Star, or the West as the finest in that division, is perhaps a much greater honor than the money that will be awarded to the winner and loser tonight. The Most Valuable Player Award is at stake also. And, of course, last year it was won by Hal Greer of the Philadelphia 76ers, who will again see action here tonight. We'll return to Civic Center in Baltimore, Maryland, following this message.
This man is going on a Latin American tour. You see, in every Dutch Master cigar are 4 tobaccos from Latin America, where tobacco growing is an art. First stop, Brazil, and flavorful, fina Brazilian tobaccos. Magnifico. Next, Santo Domingo. There, Dutch Masters buys the passionately mild Banal tobacco. And on to Colombia. In Colombia, cigar tobacco is rich, smooth, exciting. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, lively, lovely tobacco. We pay more for these 4 great tobaccos. That's one reason Dutch Master cigars cost a little more. Enjoy one. You get a Latin American tour in every Dutch Master cigar.
Live and in color at Civic Center in Baltimore, Maryland. We're here, a capacity crowd, a record crowd. In the center circle, a 6-time All-Star, a great scorer in the NBA, my colleague, Jack Twyman.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 19th annual NBA All-Star Game. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the greatest basketball players in the world. Starting with the Western Division All-Stars, playing in his first All-Star Game, the leading scorer of the Atlanta Hawks, at 6'6", 220 pounds, Lou Hudson. His 4th year in the NBA, first time playing in the All-Star Game. At 6'5", 210 pounds, from the Phoenix Suns, Dick Van Arsdale. This 10-year veteran is playing in his 5th All-Star Game. At forward, at 6'8", 220 pounds, from the San Francisco Warriors, Rudy LaRusso. The NBA's all-time leading scorer with only over 26,000 points. The leading rebounder in the league, averaging 20 rebounds a game at 7'1", 275 pounds, from the Los Angeles Lakers, Wilt Chamberlain. Playing in his first All-Star Game, one of the great jumpers in the NBA. Standing 6'5", 210 pounds, from the Atlanta Hawks, Joe Caldwell. An outstanding guard for the San Francisco Warriors, playing in his first All-Star Game. At 6'4", 200 pounds, Jeff Mullins. The leading scorer of the Phoenix Suns, playing in his first All-Star Game. At 6'3", 195, Gail Goodrich. And now the starting Western Division All-Stars. The defensive ace of the Chicago Bulls, playing backcourt, and in his second All-Star appearance at 6'5", 200 pounds, Jerry Sloan. Playing in his 6th All-Star Game, one of the most respected defensive guards in the game. At 6'1", 185, from the Seattle Supersonics, Lenny Wilkins. The leading scorer in the NBA with over 30 points a game. Last year, the College Player of the Year. A great all-around performer at 6'9", 235 pounds, from San Diego, Elvin Hayes. His teammate on the San Diego Rockets at forward, his 6th year in the NBA, playing in his second All-Star Game at 6'6", 220 pounds, Don Kojas. And the second leading scorer in NBA history with over 20,000 points, playing in his 10th All-Star Game. The second leading scorer in All-Star competition, the captain of the Lakers, Elgin Baylor. And the Coach of the Year last year, played 11 years in the NBA, 6 times in the All-Star Game. The coach of the Atlanta Hawks, Richie Guerin. The Western Division All-Star. And now the Eastern Division All-Stars. Playing in his first game at 6'5", 205 pounds, averaging 19 points a game for the Milwaukee Bucks, John McLaughlin. Playing in his second All-Star Game, the league's top scorer last year at 6'3", 180, from the Detroit Pistons, Dave Bing. Playing in his first All-Star Game, Philadelphia's leading scorer 6'7", 220 pounds, Billy Cunningham. His fifth All-Star game, captain of the New York Knickerbockers at 6'10", 240 pounds, Willis Reed. Last year's most valuable player in this game, his ninth All-Star game, at 6'2", 180 from the Philadelphia 76ers, Hal Greer. His third All-Star game at forward, standing 6'6", weighing 230, from the Baltimore Bullets, Gus Johnson. One of the two rookies in this year's game, a strong contender for Rookie of the Year honor. At 6'8", 245, from the Bullets, Wesley Unseld. And now the starting team. The sixth time in this All-Star game, six-year veteran, Rookie of the Year in 1964, most valuable player in 65. At 6'8", 230 from the Cincinnati Royals, Jerry Lucas. His running mate at forward, his fourth All-Star game, captain of the Boston Celtics, playing as a forward tonight, but plays both forward and guard. At 6'5", 205, John Havlicek. His 12th All-Star game. This fellow has led the Boston Celtics to 10 championships in the last 12 years. In his third year as player coach of the Boston Celtics, at 6'10", 225, Bill Russell. His ninth All-Star game, the only player to have been named most valuable player in this game twice. The number 2 scorer in the NBA at 6'5", 220 pounds, from the Cincinnati Royals, Oscar Robertson. And last year's Rookie of the Year, playing in his first All-Star game, the third leading scorer in the NBA, from the Baltimore Bullets, Earl Monroe. And the coach of the Eastern Division All-Stars, a 10-year veteran in the NBA. 5 times he played in this game. From the Baltimore Bullets, Gene Pugh.
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, excitement galore here in Baltimore, Maryland. We'll return to the Civic Center for the tap-off, following this important message.
It's as fine of a car as I've ever been in, bar none.
The Peter Czechs, Westmont, Illinois, talk about their 1969 Buick Riviera.
Our Riviera just rides like a dream. There's some pretty rough roads in the construction area here, but this car makes a gentle road out of a rough road. The ride of the car has got to be due to the new suspension. I think they call it AccuDrive or something like that.
Oh, yes. This new suspension system will give me much more control over the car.
I feel safer about the little guy's safety in the back seat. Every day I get in it, I get a little kick out of something. Even the ashtrays are great in this car.
Buick owners keep selling Buicks for us. Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
A high shot of Civic Center, the playing court. The two officials. Tonight, Norman Drucker and Joe Gachou, two of the veteran NBA officials in the team of 17 officials that have the very difficult job of keeping these games under control. In the series, the East has won 12, the West has won 6. And there you see the players. If you're watching in color, the West in red with white, the East All-Stars in white with dark blue trim. The center jump now, we have Bill Russell on the right, and number 11, Elvin Hayes, the rookie.
That's going to be quite a battle, Chris. It's going to be interesting to see Bill Russell, the veteran, against Elvin Hayes, the rookie, both playing center.
Well, Hayes won the battle. However, the ball was stolen by many-time All-Pro Oscar Robertson, who has the ball right now of the Cincinnati Royals, number 14. Lead pass to Russell into the basket, and it's retrieved by by Jerry Sloan of the Chicago Bulls. Quickly over to Lenny Wilkins. Wilkins driving hard into the corner. His hook shot is short. And there's the type of shot that Elvin Hayes, he loves to stuff them.
And with Lenny Wilkins in that backcourt to feed him, we might see some interesting moves on the part of Hayes tonight, Chris.
Earl LaFleur, Monroe of the Baltimore Bullets, and he is deadly from outside. So the game is tied up 2 points apiece. Lenny Wilkins bouncing into Hayes. Hayes over on the far side to the great star from the Los Angeles Lakers. Baylor. Baylor to Sloan, back to Baylor. Baylor to Hayes. Practically handing the ball back to Baylor as Russell comes out, knocks the ball away, and it's stolen by Monroe. These are the Eastern All-Stars. Oscar Robertson, number 14, tie score. Jerry Lucas.
Basket tapped in by Jerry Lucas, number 16.
You notice, Chris, Bill Russell is coming out on Elvin Hayes, so he respects his outside shot. Earl Monroe with an interception.
Hayes losing the ball to Monroe, bounce pass to Russell. Hit the leg, goes out of bounds. So the Western All-Stars take over, and they include Jerry Sloan. Now it's Len Wilkins, Elgin Baylor, Elvin Hayes, and Don Kogis. Setting up defensively now, that's Oscar Robertson, guarding Sloan on the far side here at Civic Center in Baltimore. The East leads 4-2. Baylor. The screen by Hayes. To Kogis. Beautiful. High ball game at 4 points apiece. Lead pass to Monroe from Robertson. Saved at the line, but stolen by Sloan. Sloan of the West. 4-4. Bill Russell seems everywhere tonight defensively, and that's the story of his basketball life. Great defensive stars. Hayes, who leads the league in scoring with over 30 points, misses. Russell on the rebound to Oscar Robertson.
Chris, these fellows are charged up for this game. There's a lot of pride on the line, and you can see Bill Russell 12 times in this game. He's out switching, picking up men. Jerry Lucas shoots one from outside.
Monroe has 4 points of the 6 for the Eastern All-Stars. The East favored to win this ball game. Now the West has the ball. The West coached by Richie Guerin. Monroe commits the first foul in the ball game. And with 9 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter, we have a timeout. We'll return with this reminder that the East leads the West in this showcase of stars 6-4.
At a Gay 90s football game, you could have a picnic right on the 50-yard line with Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Ah, those were the days. Good beer and good sport. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon is still brewed today the old-time premium way, to give you good old-time beer flavor. We know enough to leave a good thing alone. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers.
Nine minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter of the 19th annual NBA All-Star Game, with the East in the lead by a score of 6-4. At 9 o'clock, we go to Washington to bring you live President Johnson's State of the Union address, to return here to bring you the entire second half live and in color. Foul shot is missed as Jerry Lucas rebounds, gives to his teammate of the Cincinnati Royals, Oscar Robertson, number 14.
Chris, there we saw the advantage the East has in this game. With Lucas and Russell inside, they enjoy a height advantage, and as a result of that height advantage, are favored. So the West will have to counteract the rebounding of the East.
And the foul is committed by Don Kogis, and the Boston Celtics' John Havlicek goes to the line, number 17. His other Eastern teammates include Jerry Lucas, Earl Monroe, Bill Russell, and Oscar Robertson. What a quintet. Now for the West, Jerry Sloan. It's 7-4. The East is in the lead. Don Kogis now with the ball. The West in red if you're watching in color. John McLaughlin travels, or rather Jerry Sloan travels, excuse me.
Chris, we mentioned Russell and Hayes, but we have quite a battle going on between Havlicek and Baylor. Havlicek guarding Baylor and playing him very tight.
There you've got a good example of just how quick these pros' hands are. Lenny Wilkins knocking it out of bounds. Monroe passing it into number 6, Russell. 10 is Earl the Pearl, Monroe. Defensively, it was Jerry Sloan who was there, but he commits the foul. Jerry Sloan of the West All-Stars, his first. In slow motion.
There's Earl Monroe driving through, and Sloan going up and getting the ball, but getting Monroe with his body, as you see there.
Monroe has 4 of the 7 points for the East All-Stars. Tapping the ball over to Norm Drucker, one of the 2 officials here tonight. And he has 5 of the 8 now, Earl Monroe. And here is lefty Lenny Wilkins, number 19. Gets a screen from number 11, Hayes, gives to him. Beautiful play. Right through the lane, Elvin Hayes. It's now 8-6, Bill Russell. Gives to Monroe, who comes into the offensive zone for the East. East in the white uniforms. Russell coming out now. Practically pushed out by Hayes. Down in the corner, Robertson. Russell. Back to Robertson. It's like they played together for years and years, Jack.
Once these fellas get on the floor, they know each other's moves pretty well. They play against one another 8 times during the year. So.
San Diego's Don Kogis has his shot rebounded by Havlicek. Havlicek to Monroe. Monroe to Robertson on a dip pass. Knocked away. That was a beautiful defensive play by Elvin Hayes. Lenny Wilkins. Sloan to Kogis. Lucas out of bounds.
Chris, that play by Hayes as he came down and blocked the drive on defense reminds me of seeing Elvin Hayes and Bill Russell at dinner last night. It was kind of the teacher against the student, and Hayes was taking everything Russell was saying in.
Elgin Baylor to number 4, Sloan. Robertson on the rebound. Joe Kashu spots an infraction. Under the West basket, foul is on Jerry Lucas. That is his first. And it looks like Don Kogis will go to the foul line to shoot. Don Kogis, 6'6", 215, graduate of Marquette from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, playing with the San Diego Records. And he has numerous records at his college or university, Marquette. Fine young man, Jack.
He's having a fine year. He's averaging 22 points a game for the Rockets and really giving them a big lift at forward.
Look at those hands. Oscar Robertson to Monroe. Back to Lucas. To Havlicek. Rebounding was Sloan. Havlicek trying to steal it as the East is in the lead 10-6 with 7:52 remaining in the first quarter. What a game.
And that's what they want to do. Bill Russell getting the rebound, getting it out to Oscar, and John Havlicek and Jerry Lucas getting down on that fast break.
Now you're looking at Lenny Wilkins. Ooh, right off the rim. Oh, Bill Russell goes up.
And of course, Chris, that is an infraction. You are not allowed to touch the ball when it's on the rim or in the sphere of the rim. So that's offensive goaltending, and the basket was good.
And Seattle's Lenny Wilkins gets 2. It's 10-8 now with 7:34 left in the first quarter. That's Havlicek, number 17. Back to Russell.
2 Celtics working an old Boston Celtic play.
Knocking the ball away was Robertson from behind, saved by Monroe, then knocked away by Kogis, but taken by Robertson. Oscar Robertson, the big O. Wilkins. It's the East ball. 7:14 left in the first quarter here at Civic Center. Nearly 13,000 watching as we have a timeout, and the East is in the lead over the West by a score of 12-8. We'll return in a moment.
Next time there's a job to do, use the right tool. Skill Power tools make it easy. Next time there's a job to do, use the right tool. Skill Power tools make it easy.
Basketball fans come in all ages, and this youngster, that has a double meaning, the Super Sunday, I know, because of the Baltimore Colts and the fact that the NBA Game of the Week is regularly on Sunday afternoon on ABC, and of course it's Super Tuesday now. The East-West All-Star Game from Baltimore. John Havlicek of the East. Shot is rebounded, batted back to Earl Monroe of the Bullets. And let's see who last touched it. Across the end line at the In line, the offensive zone of the East. Here's an inbounds play. 12-8, the East leading. Coming back out to Havlicek, guarded by Jerry Sloan. Monroe. Change of pace dribbler. And you saw what the great moves will do. They'll draw a foul, and for Len Wilkins, this is his first.
And there is what makes Earl Monroe the great player that he is. He has great body control, much like Elgin Baylor, Chris, but he also has great control of the ball while he is on the move. And in that instance, he drew the foul and made the first foul shot.
Monroe now with 6 points, 6 of the 13, 7 of the 14. With 6:58 left in the first quarter, the East now enjoying a 6-point lead. They won the ball game last year, 144-124. Previous year, the West was victorious in the All-Star game as Hayes misjudged Baylor's moves. Robertson at the line, batting it back in. Lucas gets it. Now to Havlicek. And Jerry Sloan tried to tie up Havlicek. Too strong. Len Wilkins steals it. Sloan cannot save it. And along newspaper row and television row, a loose ball as Monroe now is ready to pass it in. There have been a total of 8 turnovers, 4 for each team thus far in the ball game. Saved by Havlicek, batted around. Len Wilkins, guarded by Bill Russell. Of the Bulls, Chicago, Jerry Sloan.
And the West is playing a very aggressive defense, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to force the East into making some miscues. With a backcourt like Robertson and Monroe, they're going to have to put a lot of pressure on trying to make them start their offense out a little further.
East leading 14-10. Havlicek, 16-10 for the East. The Boston Celtics, Hondo Havlicek. Soon we will be going to Washington for live coverage of President Johnson's State of the Union address, but we would like to point out and invite you to listen to President Johnson. Stay tuned, because immediately following, we will be bringing you live and in color from the Civic Center in Baltimore, Maryland, the second half of action in the NBA All-Star Game. Elgin Baylor. And coming off the board was Jerry Lucas. Lucas to Robertson. Robertson is fouled as he goes up. The basket counts. He will go to the line with 5:46 remaining in the first period of play. We have a timeout here at Civic Center. We'll return after this message.
Time is called East.
Give me a dozen lemon limes.
What?
Lemon limes.
Look, I can give you lemons or limes, but there's no such thing as a lemon lime.
No? Well, what do you call this? Gillette Foamy with lemon lime. Oh, smell it. It's not sweet like plain lime. The lemon keeps it tangy. See that? Gillette Foamy with lemon lime. Now could you give me a dozen lemon limes?
Sure, mister. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We take you to the edge of a fantastic razor blade, the Gillette Spoiler.
Baked onto the edge here is a miracle plastic coating that reduces the pull to a fraction. Every time you shave, you wear off a little of the coating. But after many shaves, the edge of cold steel doesn't touch your face.
Gillette Super Stainless.
Jack, what about that last foul here in Baltimore?
Here we have Oscar Robertson, Chris, driving on Elvin Hayes. Elvin Hayes, number 11. There you see Robertson with the good control. Hayes going up, but gets him on the arm. And Oscar using the body superbly to force the foul on Elvin Hayes. Great shot of Oscar Robertson. The ball went through the basket, and Hayes was charged with a foul.
At the moment it is East 18, the West 10. Robertson has 4 points. Don't forget, we will be returning to Civic Center to bring you the entire second half, live and in color, of the NBA All-Star Game following President Johnson's State of the Union address. More basketball on America's #1 sports network, unquestionably. Knocked out of bounds by Big Bill Russell. 19-10 with 5:35 remaining in the first quarter. Now let's go to Washington, D.C. for ABC's news coverage of the President Johnson State of the Union message.
19, Honey Wilkins. entering the game for the West squad, number 23, Bill Hudson. Number 13, Wilt Chamberlain.
Go back to
Hey, John! Basket scored by number 23, Bill Hudson. For the Ace, number 32, Bill Cunningham. Number 16, Jerry Lucas. Dave Bain for Earl Monroe. All right, here we go. Bill Russell wants to go.
And one. Go. And one. Ball. Yours all alone.
Foul is on number 17, John Havlicek. Is his second, is the fourth of the East. Alvin Baylor on the line for one.
it, Elgin. Wait, it's the ball! Red ball! Elgin!
All
right, good. Nick. Good job.
22, Elgin Baylor.
Here we go. Ball. What? Yeah, one. Out of hole.
Goal, Oscar. Less than 2 minutes, less than 2, time is called play. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's official attendance, 12,348. Number 58, Harold Mayer for Oscar Robertson.
What's up? Oh.
Number 23, Lou Hudson.
Okay. One. One. On the hole.
You are alone. That's been scored by 41 West Ansel. Foul on 41 West Ansel. It is his first. It is the fifth for the East. 48, number 25, Gus Johnson to John Havlicek. Luke Chamberlain's on the line. 1.
One.
Rudy LaRusso, Elgin Baylor for the West. calling. Everybody calling Peggy Clemens. Next Bullet Hall game is played on Monday, January the 20th. The Bullets, the Boston Celtics. On Tuesday, January the 21st, American Hockey League action on October 16th. During the innovation and after the game, are listening to Constellation Room, located on the main floor, west side of the city center. That is scored by number 24, Jeff Mullins. Lou Hudson. Joe Caldwell. A basket scored by Bill Cunningham. Go once.
One. In the hole. Take right, Dave.
Foul is on number 25, Gus Johnson. It is his first, and it's the first for the East in the second period. On the line, number 27, Joe Caldwell.
One. Hey, one.
Forward, number 5, Dick Van Arsdale. Number 23, Lou Hudson.
One. Okay. Oh.
In the lane, ref. Basket is number 27, Joe Caldwell. Oh. One. That hole. One. 27, Joe Caldwell. Foul is on number 35, Rudy LaRusso. Time is called East. Entering the game for the East squad for the first time tonight, number 18, John McLaughlin, Milwaukee.
I got a player now.
Gus Johnson's on the line. He'll have two. Tapped in by number 35, Rudy LaRusso. One. 19 and Phyllis Green. Pick right. Ball. Jeff Mullins. Pass is scored by number 32, Bill Cunningham. Basket scored by Van Arsdale of 5.
One and a hole.
Earl Monroe, number 10, Dave James, number 21, 46 is Neil Goodrich. Timeout, West.
Okay. Piece of it.
24, Jeff Mullen.
One. One.
32, Bill Cunningham. Foul is on number 32, Bill Cunningham. Hayes for Chamberlain for the West, Bookers for Cunningham, Lee, Cale Goodrich is on the line, 1. Turning to the east squad, number 17, John Havlicek for 25, Gus Johnson.
One. Let's go. And.
Five, Texas, Van Arsdale. Foul on number 35, Rudy LaRusso. It's his second. It is the second for the West. Oscar Robertson, placing number 18. Baylor Olarusso to the west.
All right, here we go. One shot.
Gail Goodrich.
Hey, go ahead, let him go. Yep, it goes. Oh.
Foul on number 24, Jeff Mullins. It's his first. It's the third from West. Starting from the east, number 6, Bill Russell. 19, Willis Green. Earl for 2. Time east.
One left. Here we go.
Foul on number 14, Austin Robertson. It's his second and the third each. Gail Goodrich is on the line. He'll have 1. Albert Page. Foul on number 10, Irwin Rowe. It is his second. It is the fourth for the East. Buddy Wilkins, number 19 on the line, and he'll have 2. Goodrich, 46, his first, is the fourth from West. Oscar Robertson and Hill have 1. West the 2. West the 2.
Traffic goes through. One.
Foul is on number 19, Lenny Wilkins. It's his second, and it's the fifth for West. Earl Monroe, 2. One to go. Time is called. West. Foul on number 11, Alvin Hayes. Bonus. That is Alvin's second. Jerry Lucas is on the line. 1-1 for 2. 1-1. Bonus shot. That's what you Walking.
Make him go, Jared.
Foul is on number 22, Elgin Baylor. It is his first. Bonus for 16, Jerry Lucas. foul is on number 10, Earl Monroe. It's his third. Foul on number 60, Jerry Lucas. It's his second. Fifth, the East. Alvin Baylor. Milwaukee. At halftime, ladies and gentlemen, the East 60, Washington 53.
Yes, hello. There they go. Chet, how have you enjoyed the rest?
They've probably been working out there, haven't they?
Hey, where's Rune?
Chris and Bud.
Chris and Jack. Cracker Jack. How soon is he going to throw it back to old Chris?
Is he still on, LBJ?
Look at this. They hitch up those, what does the shoe indicate?
Beta bullets.
Huh?
Beta bullet.
Hello.
Chris Budd.
Hello,
this is basketball.
Chet, baby. Yeah. Right. 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 You know, Jack, what we can do is treat it as past tense, too.
Yeah.
What?
Practice of commentary, so.
Here at halftime, the East leading the West 60-53, but early in the second quarter, the East had a 10-point margin, 39-29. As we get a look at Baltimore's popular Gus Johnson, who came into the lineup as both coaches used their entire roster of 12 players throughout this first half. It's Johnson going to the foul line, Big Jack.
In coming back, Chris, the West, utilizing the rebounding of Wilt Chamberlain, getting the ball out on the fast break, and Gus Johnson and his teammates coming back to within 10. There's Gus on the...
Yeah, but do you want to do, you don't want to make it as present tense, do you? All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is the West team, and that was Dick Van Arsdale, who had his shot rebounded beautifully by Rudy LaRusso, as we have the Eastern All-Stars now coming into the offensive zone. Dave Bing and Willis Reed combining. And the Knickerbocker.
Dave Bing, this is Bing's first time in the lineup. He has been injured, but he's trying that game leg of his and seems to be moving very well, Chris.
This is videotape of action in the second quarter of the All-Star game as Wilt Chamberlain gets down in front of Rudy LaRusso, batted away by, it looked like McLaughlin, to Dave Bing. Bing fakes to Johnson, gives to Reed for 2 for the East. At the end of the first quarter, the East led 35-19, leading by 16 points, but the West is bouncing back here in the second quarter.
Jeff Mullins, a great outside shooter, pulling the defense out so that it can open it up inside a little bit for Wilt Chamberlain and Elvin Hayes.
This is Billy Cunningham, the 76ers, whom we'll see on Sunday afternoon in the game of the week, as the 76ers will host the San Francisco Warriors. So the West now has the ball, as you see, trailing by 13 points at about the midpoint of the second quarter in Baltimore. Van Arsdale of the Phoenix Suns to Chamberlain of the Lakers. Back to Van Arsdale and Mullins. Cunningham on the rebound, stolen by Big Wilt. LaRusso. Way outside to Joe Caldwell. Nice lead pass to LaRusso, and what a job blocking a shot by Cunningham.
Here's Wilt Chamberlain coming up with another rebound. It has been his rebounding in the second quarter that has brought the West back, as we see him go in on a layup over Gus Johnson.
Dave Bing. Beating McLaughlin, former star of Indiana University.
John McLaughlin.
And also from the same university, Dick Van Arsdale.
There's an example of what a great one-on-one player will do. He gave Billy Cunningham a fake to the right and went left and had the easy layup.
11-point lead by the East. They have the ball. They're in the white uniforms. This is Billy Cunningham. Gus Johnson. That's Joe Caldwell.
Second quarter, Chris, the West have been going to the boards and as a result have been getting the rebounds, getting the ball out, and they're right back in this ball game.
That's Willis Reed of the New York Knickerbockers. And number 18, John McLaughlin.
There was an example of how Wilt Chamberlain intimidates you in there. McLaughlin going up for the jump shot, saw Wilt, and walked with the ball.
All right. So with 5:34 remaining in the second quarter, 48-37. All right. Chet, I think we'll be all right. They'll be out here by the time we get ready to go.
Oh, here they come out. Hey, Chet. Chet, Walter is here. What time do you think we'll go back on? He wants to know for the halftime. Yeah. Walter says he'll hold it till 10. Chet.
39-29.
caller says he will hold it until 10 o'clock. We'll start at 10 straight up. He says 10 o'clock. He said that's all. He'll cooperate, Chet. He's very cooperative.
Yes. All right.
I don't know. Let me... Hey, Chet. Chet. What?
All right. This is more action on videotape in the second quarter of the NBA All-Star Game, with the East leading 54-43. They led at the end of the first quarter, 35-19, as we look at Baltimore's Earl Monroe, a native of Philadelphia, from Winston-Salem College, and it's 55-43. This is the West bringing up the ball. Gail Goodrich, who replaced Jerry West, who was unable to fill his All-Star role because of a groin injury.
And of course, Oscar Robertson intentionally fouled Goodrich there. The East, having a few fouls to waste, are going to foul them to give them one shot with an opportunity of getting two when they get possession of the ball.
Goodrich, shortest man on the rosters here tonight at 6'1", perfect at the line. As we look to the far side, a very deadly shooter. High scorer thus far in the ball game, Oscar Robertson, who gave to Bill Russell. Russell quickly to Monroe, back to the coach of the Celtics. And his player, John Havlicek. Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, all right.
Chet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. How much time do we have now till 10?
Then it'll come back to us.
You want to go through that one again, pal? You were pretty fast there, Columbia. Chad, give me a quick rundown again. You were so fast that I missed.
They're coming to us right away.
Who's that talking? That sounded like Rune. Yeah. All right. Very good. Right. Right.
You got it?
All right. Does anybody throw it to us, or we, you know, from New York or anything like that, or is it just a clean take? And it's halftime here in the neighboring city of Baltimore on Chesapeake Bay of the NBA All-Star Game, as the West has cut the lead has cut the margin of trailing by 7 points, whereas at the end of the first quarter they trailed by 16. So at halftime it is 60-50, 60-53. I'm Chris Schenkel, welcoming you back live and in color to the 19th annual NBA All-Star Game. Happy to be here with my colleague Jack Twyman.
Chris, it was a great second quarter on the part of the West. As you mentioned, they were behind 35-19 at the quarter. And in the second quarter, Wilt Chamberlain was a tower of strength. On defense, he got the rebounds for the West, was the catalyst on the...
And it's halftime here in the neighboring city of Baltimore on Chesapeake Bay of the NBA All-Star Game, as the West has cut the lead has cut the margin of trailing by 7 points, whereas at the end of the first quarter they trailed by 16. So at halftime it is 60-50, 60-53. I'm Chris Schenkel, welcoming you back live and in color to the 19th annual NBA All-Star Game. Happy to be here with my colleague Jack Twyman.
Chris, it was a great second quarter on the part of the West. As you mentioned, they were behind 35-19 at the quarter. And in the second quarter, Wilt Chamberlain was a tower of strength. On defense, he got the rebounds for the West, was the catalyst on the fast break. Dick Van Arsdale, Joe Caldwell coming down, and they cut the lead to 7. So the West, with a strong second quarter, should have the momentum going into the second half here.
Well, I'm so pleased we have the entire second half to bring you, as Gene Shue, the coach of the Eastern All-Stars, he's the Baltimore Bullet coach, used all 12 players. And Richie Guerin, who is coaching the West All-Stars, did the very same thing. So the capacity crowd of 12,348 here in Baltimore had an opportunity to see the 24 greatest basketball players in the world in the first half. The NBA All-Star Game is being brought to you by AT&T, your anywhere, anything, anytime network. By Aquavelva, the aftershave lotion that's better for your skin, for a wonderful feeling of fitness and a clean, crisp, manly scent. And by Original Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee Brewers. Halftime in Baltimore will be returning in a moment for the second half tap-off, following this message.
The bullfights in Madrid.
Bullfights, Madrid? There's going to be a you and me fight right here if I don't see Disneyland. I want to go see... What's her name? What's her name? Snow White.
Snow White, honey, gondola in Venice, lights, music. You can worry all over again. And then we hop over to Ireland and see my relatives.
Relatives. Oh, no, you don't.
We can see 22 countries in 5 days.
This is the time when people are planning their vacations and confusion is king.
I want the fresh air in Switzerland.
PWA thinks you ought to see your travel agent before planning a vacation. He can save you time, money, aggravation.
Paris. Champagne. Artichokes.
Artichokes, but the kitchen is 10 feet away.
You don't want me anymore.
It's settled. We're going to take the economy tour.
What's that?
That's where you stay home.
Your travel agent may even save your marriage.
What's that?
That's where you stay home.
Your travel agent may even save your marriage.
Rebound, Jerry Lucas with
Back again at Civic Center in the NBA All-Star Game. The East leading by 7 points, 60-53, as we await the start of the second half, and it should be a thriller. In that first half, Oscar Robertson and Earl Monroe were the leading scorers with 10 points each for the East. And there you see the statistics. Lucas and Cunningham with 8. Moving on down, the entire roster of 12 All-Stars representing the Eastern Division of the NBA. While for the Western All-Stars, Len Wilkins with 8, and several men with 6, as you see, going on down the line. Twice, the West trailed by only 6 points. But as we start the second half, it is 60-53, and in the center circle, a scene that we have seen so often now being duplicated on the right, Will Chamberlain, and on the left, Bill Russell, 2 phenomenal basketball players.
And I think the reason Chamberlain is starting, because of his strong showing in the second quarter, he has given this West team the momentum here. He's been a tower of strength on the boards, and they're going to try and continue through the third quarter what they started in the second quarter.
Jeff Mullins of Duke University, who was a spark plug in the second quarter for the West, has his shot rebounded by Baylor. Baylor down in the corner to Chamberlain. Chamberlain outside to Elgin Baylor. And what a lineup for the West as the second half is now underway. Lou Hudson, Jeff Mullins, Will Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, and Joe Caldwell. Here's Earl Monroe, the Baltimore Bullets, driving around a Lucas screen, a hook shot up, and rebound. Bill Russell fighting for it, but it's Lou Hudson that takes it away. Long pass down the corner, and Joe Caldwell too hot to handle.
And there you see the fast break on the part of the West that we've seen so much in the second quarter. The fast break by the West, they've been running, they've forced the game to the East, and as a result, they've brought it to within 5.
Havlicek, Russell, Lucas, Robertson. There's Havlicek and Monroe. For the Eastern All-Stars, as Will Chamberlain comes up with another rebound. Turnovers, the East has 10, the West 11. Jeff Mullins to Caldwell.
27.
And now the West is within 3 points of the Eastern All-Stars, who had a big lead of 16 points at the end of the first quarter, 35-19.
And the West putting a little pressure on the East, forcing Monroe and Robertson to set up the offense out a little further than they normally would.
Live and in color from Baltimore, Maryland, the Bullets, Monroe. Baylor on the rebound, the Los Angeles Lakers star. Look at him move, trying to get past Jerry Lucas. Gives out to Chamberlain at the foul line. This is Jeff Mullins in the corner to Lou Hudson. Robertson defensively for the East. And Robertson is called for holding.
Number 14, Oscar Robertson. It is his third.
There's Lou Hudson going on Oscar Robertson. There you see the foul by Oscar. He reached in and grabbed him, and Lou Hudson fouled.
One shot.
Lou Hudson is at the foul line. And now it is 60-58. The West is within 2 points. The West the underdog. And the East, Oscar Robertson is fouled by Jeff Mullins. Mullins now has 2 fouls as Oscar Robertson, appearing in his 9th All-Star game, goes to the line.
The West is almost completely relying on Will Chamberlain to get the rebounds. With Lou Hudson and Joe Caldwell and Elgin Baylor, they're starting that fast break early. Wilt is getting the ball and getting it out. As a result, the West making a strong comeback here.
Elgin Baylor driving on Jerry Lucas. Outside to Will Chamberlain to Caldwell. Guarded by Monroe. This is number 23, Lou Hudson. 22 is Baylor. A basket counts. Basket counts. Let's watch it again.
There you see the great body control of Elgin Baylor driving on Bill Russell, using the body and extending the arm for the basket. That is what has made Elgin Baylor the great forward he has been for the past 10 years, Chris.
And now he can tie the ball game up. He does. 61 all, with 10 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the third quarter, live and in color from Baltimore. Now that is the fourth time that the game has been tied. 3 times in the first quarter, early, at 2-2, 4-4, 6-6. Now it's 61-61.
And you see the defensive play on the part of Will Chamberlain. He's been a tower of strength on the boards, but he's been picking up men, cutting through, and guarding Bill Russell very closely.
Havlicek and Russell. Chamberlain on the defensive board. Havlicek. 63-61. Joe Caldwell from Arizona State, member of the Atlanta Hawks, stolen by Havlicek, and Ohio State star hits the deck. Foul called.
And it was a foul in the front court, so John Havlicek will be awarded only one
Foul
shot.
on number 27, Joe Caldwell.
If you just joined us, we're back here at Civic Center in Baltimore for the complete live color coverage of the second half with 9:36 remaining in the third period of play. Let's pause for a moment with a score of the East 63, the West 61.
28 years ago, your father was pacing the floor waiting for you. Ah, but you've changed a lot since then. We're John Hancock, and we feel when your life changes, so should your life insurance. John Hancock is the fastest growing major life insurance company in America, and so who would know more about change than we? You remembered to make your new bride your new beneficiary, but now that you're about to have a family, is your old insurance still enough insurance? A Hancock man can update your life insurance coverage to keep up with your changing life. So whenever something changes, congratulations! Now call John Hancock, the growing and changing life insurance company for your growing and changing life.
John Hancock, huh?
To prove again that there is contact in NBA basketball, Jack.
There we see John Havlicek on that last foul, being guarded by Joe Caldwell. And John, losing his balance, going down, being nudged by Joe Caldwell, and there surely is contact.
And, of course, Havlicek will go to the line. One of the West All-Stars unable to play in this game. We hope he's enjoying our telecast. Jerry West, the great star of the Los Angeles Lakers, sustaining a groin injury, unable to play in this game, replaced by Gail Goodrich and the Phoenix Suns.
That's John Havlicek's 8th point in this ball game. The West on the attack.
They're trailing by 3 points now. The Blue Devil misses the shot. Here's Bill Russell now of San Francisco, giving to Havlicek of Ohio State. And what a beautiful fake he put on Lou Hudson. However,
offensive foul on
an offensive foul on Jerry Lucas, and that is his third personal. 9:21 remaining in the third period. Elgin Baylor. Hudson. Beautiful. 64-63. The leader in assists thus far in the ball game is Lynn Wilkins of the West with 5. Here's Oscar Robertson.
In the lane, left.
Joe Caldwell.
From Will Chamberlain. Will on those boards, looking down the floor, and the West sending all 4 men down on the fast break. And Joe Caldwell on that play getting the layup.
And now the West is in the lead for the first time by 1, 65-64 with 8:42 remaining in the third quarter, Jack. Trailing by 16, they have come on strong.
A great comeback. And there you see Will Chamberlain, number 13, who has led the way for the West.
Russell to Jerry Lucas. Chamberlain on the rebound, number 13. That is 7 rebounds for both of the Lakers. Joe Caldwell to Lou Hudson, guarded by Earl Monroe. 67-64.
A little mismatch there on the part of the West. Lou Hudson getting the smaller Earl Monroe on the side and taking advantage of the height and putting it up and in over Earl Monroe.
Oscar Robertson.
3 seconds.
Still battling under the board as Hal Greer gets ready to come in along with Willis Reed of the New York Knickerbockers. There's Elgin Baylor, number 22. Joe Gashu, Norm Drucker are the officials of this game. There's 15, Hal Greer of Marshall University, and Willis Reed of Grambling Cottage into the lineup for the East.
And Will Chamberlain has not had to worry about Bill Russell's outside shot, and as a result has been able to stay inside, clogging up the middle on defense, but more importantly, being in there for the rebound.
Partial outside weave now as Oscar Robertson goes around a Hal Greer pick. Chamberlain and Russell battling along with Havlicek. And Wilt sort of toying with the opposition and getting the ball over to Joe Caldwell. The West leading 67-64. About 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Ooh, Greer on a steal. For the East, it's Hal Greer. Willis Reed of the Knickerbockers. Russell and Havlicek of the Celtics. Robertson of the Cincinnati Royals. While for the West, they now have the ball. Elgin Baylor, Jeff Mullins, Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Hudson, Joe Caldwell, who now gets it. Baylor. Now they pull away to a 5-point lead after trailing by 16.
And Elgin Baylor there showed his ability to handle that ball and control the ball while going for the basket.
He now has 11 points in the ball game. He is a co-winner of the Most Valuable Player Award back in 1959, along with Bob Pettit, who won it several times. Chamberlain fouled on the play. That's his second, as Oscar Robertson now goes to the line. Robertson for the East.
Chris, nobody in any real foul trouble. On the East, Lucas with 3, Robertson with 3, and Monroe with 3. On the West, nobody has more than 2. So fouls not seeming to be a factor in the game thus far.
Although Chamberlain committed the foul, in this quarter, the third, he has 5 rebounds with 6:56 left in the period, 69-66. And the red team, or the West All-Stars, decide that they should gather their forces with 6:53 remaining, third quarter. The West is in the lead over the East, 69-66.
This little demonstration is strictly for smokers who've never tasted a Camel cigarette. Camel smokers, you know what we mean.
I'd walk a mile for a Camel.
You other guys, start walking.
Ever since Roger Dion started smoking Prince Albert, he never goes anywhere without his pipe. That's because Prince Albert smokes cool and smooth with no bite. You get that great natural tobacco taste you can stay with all day long. And PA stays fresh thanks to the handy foil pouch. Try Prince Albert today, and you'll never go anywhere without your pipe.
Next Friday night, January 24th, ABC Sports will bring you the French-American Challenge Cup ski race from Aspen, Colorado. An exciting, revolutionary concept in ski racing will be used as skiers ski side by side against each other rather than against the clock. There are a lot of male stars like Guy Perrier of France and America's own Billy Kidd, as well as the female skiers, the stars, as Annie Famose, and Judy Nakel of the United States. That's January 24th at 9, 8 Central Time. And then Wide World of Sports on Saturday afternoon will feature the Champions Track Meet from Los Angeles, and also Vince Lombardi, legendary coach and football figure, will analyze the Super Bowl game of last Sunday. All this on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday afternoon.
Chris, in this quarter, the West hitting 6 of 9 for 67%, but the East 1 of 11 for only 9%. So the East very cold here in the third period.
And with Chamberlain's rebounding, we have Baylor and Caldwell outside. Hudson and Mullins were in the corner. Now Mullins comes back outside, looks for a pass from Caldwell, instead finds Baylor, number 22. Reed, number 19, guarding on the play, and Reed is tacked with a personal.
Reed, of course, Chris, a little out of position here. He's been playing center for the Knicks as a result of the recent trade, so he was forced to guard Baylor at forward there, and might be a little unaccustomed to playing the forward that he's been playing the center for the Knicks thus far.
There are 24 All-Stars here. 23 of the 24 stars in the game have scored thus far. The only guy to be shut out is Hal Greer, last year's most valuable player of the Eastern All-Stars. Well, as Baylor shoots, we'd like to remind you that That's Life, starring Robert Morse and E.J. Peeker, will be back in this same time period next Tuesday night with guest stars Phil Harris, Agnes Moorehead, and Rodney Dangerfield, so be sure to watch. Willis Reed, NBA All-Star Game, making it 71-68.
And there you saw a tactic we might see on the part of the East. Reed at 6'10", taking Baylor at 6'5" inside, and Bill Russell clearing the middle to let him work one-on-one against Baylor.
Oh, beautiful. Jeff Mullins of Duke University, a native of Lexington, Kentucky, 6'4", up and in as it's 73-68. Now Robertson.
Okay, I hold
Guarded
on.
by Mullins. Havlicek picked up by Hudson, number 23. 14, the big O. Chamberlain blocking it, knocking it away. Oscar thought it was a goaltending fraction. However, Baylor has the ball. Caldwell in the corner. Russell on the rebound. Out fighting Chamberlain. Robertson. Willis Reed. And the native of Louisiana, and possibly the best fisherman, although Jerry West may take offense to this, Willis Reed of the Knicks, who gave us a long dissertation about his fishing skills last night, Jack.
He sure did at dinner. We see Wesley Unseld on the sidelines. I think Bill Russell, not being able to hit outside, you'll see Wes Unseld come in because he is a pretty good outside shooter, Chris. Jeff Mullins putting it up and in over Hal Greer.
And now Mullins has 10 points. Tenacious Jeff Mullins. And now Hal Greer looking for his first point of the ball game at Madison Square Garden last year before nearly 19,000. He won the MVP award. There'll be one here tonight, so you choose the player you believe is worthy of the award. It's 75-72, the West leading with 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Both coaches going with the lineup for about 8 minutes here in the third quarter as they started the second half, but now we see substitutes coming off the bench. Hal Greer. Greer to Robertson. Basket counts. And it appears that Elgin Baylor may have picked up that foul here at Civic Center in Baltimore as our live color coverage of the NBA All-Star Game will continue with the West in the lead 75-74.
Did you ever visit a place where you could just feel the strength of tradition all around you? A place that almost shouts of heritage and depth of purpose? Then you know what a visit to the Pabst Brewery is like. Roots run deep here. Pabst is the oldest brewer in Milwaukee. This is the home of good old-time beer flavor. And that's what's switching so many people to original Pabst Blue Ribbon. Today, there's someone waiting for every glass we can brew. Pabst is the only beer in America with good old-time beer flavor because it's still brewed the original premium way. 4 words tell it all. Good old-time flavor. No other beer has it. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers.
This Saturday afternoon, following the Professional Bowlers Tour telecast from Tempe, Arizona, ABC's Wide World of Sports will have the Champions Track and Field meet from Los Angeles, featuring such stars as Bob Seagren, Bob Beeman, Willie Davenport, and Ron Clark of Australia. And then also, one of the truly remarkable stories in sports history, the story in the world of sports this week, the Jets upsetting the Baltimore Colts 16-7 in the Super Bowl. Vince Lombardi, the Green Bay Packers, will analyze films of the game's key plays exclusively for our Wide World of Sports audience. And also we'll present the ABC Wide World of Sports 1968 Athlete of the Year Award. So don't miss Wide World of Sports this Saturday afternoon at 5/4 Central Time. Robertson now 5 of 12 from the field, 42%, 5 of 5 from the foul line, 15 points. Six for 6 from the line.
And Wes Unseld in for the East. The East has to get a little outside shooting from the pivot, so Unseld will try and bring Hayes outside, who is in for Chamberlain now.
Now the ball game has been tied up 5 times at 75 all with 3:58 left in the third quarter. Baylor getting Reed to get out of position and causing a foul.
Yes, we have a great matchup in the pivot here with Wesley Unseld and Elvin Hayes, the 2 top contenders for Rookie of the Year honors in the NBA, playing one another head-to-head. Should be a great battle.
Native of Washington, D.C., Elgin Baylor, who became the 3rd player in NBA history to go over the 20,000 point mark earlier this year. Chamberlain and Pettit ahead of him.
Now he has 14 points in this All-Star game. $15. So there's a battle going on for top scoring. Robertson and Baylor's. We have 3:49 left in the third quarter. Wesley Unseld, number 41, native of Louisville, Kentucky. Here's a native of Indianapolis, Indiana, giving back to the Kentuckian. That was Willis Reed. What a soft left-handed hook.
A versatile performer. He's played forward, center for the Knicks. Lenny Wilkins driving through the middle.
Ball game tied for the sixth time. On the floor, on his knees, that was Jeff Mullins. Billy Cunningham replaces John Havlicek for the Eastern All-Stars. While we have Jerry Sloan of the Chicago Bulls replacing Jeff Mullins of the San Francisco Warriors for the West. Unseld. Don Kogis trying to rebound, and Unseld comes back and gets it.
And West, the Western All-Stars have Elgin Baylor guarding Wes Unseld. So Unseld enjoying about a 30-pound weight advantage on Baylor, and you can look for him to take Baylor inside. On the other hand, Unseld guarding Hayes at the other end. So the West not allowing Hayes to guard Unseld.
And of course, that is a matchup, Jack, that a lot of viewers and spectators have looked forward to. What a pair. And this, of course, is Glenn Wilkins. Here you see he's averaging nearly 9 assists a game. He has 9 points thus far in tonight's All-Star game from Baltimore.
Now with Chamberlain out of the game, Chris, it opens up the boards a little bit for the East. He has been inside there, so Unseld and Willis Reed will have a little more freedom on the boards here.
You just joined us. We'll set the lineups for you. The Eastern All-Stars have the ball. This is Hal Greer. Number 14 is Oscar Robertson. 41 is Wes Unseld with that lead pass. 19 is Willis Reed. 32 is Billy Cunningham. Robertson. And now the East has regained the lead.
And Reed working beautifully with Robertson, setting the pick, shaking Robertson's man free for Oscar to have an unmolested jump shot.
Oscar Robertson now, top scorer in the ball game with 18 points, and there he goes to the bench as we have a timeout. With 2:29 remaining in the third quarter, the East leading the West, 81-79.
She dreams again of the man she met. Something about him she can't forget.
There's something about an aqua.
When he held her close, it was very clear. Something about him made him nice to be near.
There's something about an aqua.
The aftershave girls can't forget Aqua Velva. Have you tried it yet?
There's something about an aqua.
Hi there. So what's he doing in my shop with his electric razor and Williams electric shave? Okay, so the electric shave does make your whiskers stand up. So it does lubricate your face and give you a close, comfortable shave. So, a shave that feels barber close with your electric razor? Sure enough. Look for the big L. First letter in.
Bill Russell takes a seat on the West bench. There we have a little adjustments being made by Oscar Robertson, who in all-star competition in 8 previous games has a 20.5 average, a top field goal percentage of 51%. Wow.
Of course, Chris, I played 6 years with Oscar in Cincinnati, and each night he shows you something a little different. He's a very versatile all-around player, perhaps the best all-around player.
Jerry Sloan of the Bulls to Lynn Wilkins. Wilkins of the Eastern All-Stars has his shot rebounded by rookie Wes Unseld. Driving hard is the man we've been referring to, the Big O, Unseld. And now the East has a 4-point lead, 83-79. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Elvin Hayes losing it to rookie Unseld. Billy Cunningham losing it to Jerry Sloan. Len Wilkins, number 19. And the ball was last touched by Elvin Hayes of Houston.
Chris, a little confusion on the part of the West. Hayes not guarding Unseld, who is guarding him. So in getting back down on defense, he has to look for a forward, Willis Reed. So as a result, they've become crossed up on Unseld, and Unseld had that layup there.
This is Dave Bing of the popular Detroit Pistons. Willis Reed of the New York Knickerbockers. Billy Cunningham of the Philadelphia 76ers. Unseld of the Baltimore Bullets. Bullets have three men. His team, Earl Monroe, Gus Johnson, and number 41 Unseld, as Baylor commits the foul. That is his second. It's the 5th team foul as Rudy LaRusso comes into the ball game, replacing Baylor.
Since Will Chamberlain left the ball game, the change has been dramatic in the West defense. The middle has opened up considerably, and the East able to operate inside with Unseld and Reed going in deep, which they were not able to do with Chamberlain in the game. So I'm sure Richie Guerin giving Wilt Chamberlain a little rest so he can come back with him in the 4th period.
Unseld has 8 points thus far, 4 of 6 from the field. A little trouble at the line is Rudy LaRusso of Dartmouth. Rebounds to Jerry Sloan of Evansville. This is Don Kogis of Marquette. Elvin Hayes is number 11 of Houston. And Unseld commits the foul. 16 foul, Jack.
Chris, Wesley Unseld, I think, has been most impressive since he came into the NBA. He has learned very rapidly to use the great weight that he has, and there you saw it in that instance. He forced Elvin Hayes outside a little farther than normal, and there Hayes makes the foul shot, but he's utilizing his weight to great advantage.
A minute 18 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 83-81. East leading by 2 as Hal Greer takes his first shot from the field. Hal Greer, MVP last year of the 76ers, whom you'll see on the Game of the Week, ABC, Sunday afternoon from Philadelphia as they go against San Francisco. Basket counts. Wes Unseld of the Baltimore Bullets, very popular here. Averaging nearly 18 rebounds, nearly 15 points per game as Hayes commits his 3rd foul.
Actually, as you mentioned, Unseld, a great favorite here in Baltimore. And Chris, when you think about it, this is the only addition the Baltimore Bullets have made over this year as opposed to last year. So it's been a great addition for Baltimore, and he has given them the big lift.
Wilkins, LaRusso, Kogis.
Who's that, Wes? Wait!
Rebound by Unseld. Unseld to Billy Cunningham, and dribbling left-handed gives to Dave Bing. And there'll probably be a charging foul against Cunningham. That's his 2nd personal, number 32 in white. So the offended team passes the ball inbounds into the offensive zone. Kogis in the corner, in the lane. Unseld. Oh, he's strong and fast. Dave Bing of Detroit. Jerry Sloan also touched it. He touched it last. 34 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, 86-81. Unseld has 8 rebounds. Sloan gets that one for the West. Kogis. LaRusso. 86-83 now. 15 seconds, 3rd quarter. And the white team, or the Eastern All-Stars, have requested a timeout with 14 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. The East having regained the lead as the West came from behind by 16 points. The East now leading by only 3.
Chris, here in Baltimore the last 2 days, I think with regard to Wesley Unseld, everybody knew that he had the strength and the weight to play in the NBA, but I think everybody has been amazed at the quickness with Unseld comes to play. He has the ability to guard a forward, and he's very quick inside, as we've seen here this evening, the way he has dominated the boards here in the 3rd period.
Jack, there's an event coming up on ABC television, January 25th and 26th, that I look forward to. And I know I'll miss you, but I always enjoy teaming up with Bing Crosby and covering his great Pro-Am Golf Championship from Pebble Beach, California. That's the 25th and 26th, Saturday and Sunday from Pebble Beach. Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Pro-Am aspect of the tournament brings in people like our old friend Phil Harris, Jack Ging, Bill Worthing, Bill Rigney, and ABC has a starter this year, and the president of ABC Sports, Rune Arledge.
He's paired with Claude Harmon, and I'm going to be looking in to see that twosome come out in front out there at the Bing Crosby.
And of course, Jack, I'll be with you Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia as the 76ers will host the San Francisco Warriors. All this on ABC. Unseld losing the ball out of bounds, 86-83 with 11 seconds, third quarter. Sloan and Wilkins, the backcourt men. The corner men are Kogis and LaRusso with Elvin Hayes, the center. Hayes batting it over. Wilkins. Ooh.
There we saw Elvin Hayes charged with offensive goaltending, and as the quarter ended, the basket was allowed.
So the final quarter is coming up. Our live color coverage of the NBA All-Star Game will continue as the East leads 86-83.
Joe O'Neill, St. Paul, talks about his 1969 Buick Skylark Custom.
I bought the Skylark because actually it's my airplane on the ground. It's not really an expensive car as most people think it to be. You can go in and buy a Skylark for the same price that you can go out and buy a low-price car. There's a similarity between the Buick and flying, just the way the thing handles. Like in the plane, it doesn't take much to get a turn out of it. Neither does it take much to get a turn out of the Buick. It looks like a knife going into the wind. I'm sure I could sell Buicks to other people. I could take them for a ride in my car, and if they couldn't see from that what a good car it was compared to the other cars, well, there's no hope for them.
Buick owners keep selling Buicks for us. Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
What's It All About, World? Premieres Thursday, February 6th on ABC.
Before the fourth quarter begins, let's study the last play of the third quarter, Jack.
There's a great example, Chris, of offensive goaltending. Watch Elvin Hayes, number 11 in the red. As the shot goes up, Wesley Unseld goes up, but watch Hayes go up with his hand over the rim right there, and he interfered with the ball while it was in the arc, and as a result, offensive goaltending. There you see him bat the ball away, and the basket was allowed as the quarter ended.
Well, here we go with the fourth and final quarter. At the end of the first quarter, the East led 35-19. The West in the past two periods has outscored the East 34-25 and 30-26.
The shooting percentages, Chris, in the third quarter, the West 9 of 20 for 45. The East, after starting out 1 for 11, finished 10 of 25 for 40%.
And look at them jumping. Unseld and Hayes, the rookies, controlled by the West. The West team, Wilkins, Jerry Sloan, Kogis, LaRusso, and Elvin Hayes. While for the East, it's Len Wilkins, Billy Cunningham, Hal Greer, Wes Unseld, and Gus Johnson of the Bullets. A long lead pass intended for Johnson, knocked away by Kogis. Kogis of the San Diego Rockets, as Wilkins picks it up. Gus Johnson defensively, quickly to Dave Bing.
Keeping in mind, Chris, Gus Johnson at 6'7", 235 pounds, made the defensive play on one end and wound up with the layup on the other end. There's Kogis with the ball. Gus blocking the shot, getting the ball, passing it out. Dave Bing on the fast break. And there you see Gus laying it up. A great play by Gus Johnson, showing his mobility.
Elvin Hayes now has 9 points for the West. It's 88-84. Kogis on a steal. Don Kogis is fouled by Hal Greer. Greer's second.
Talking about mobility, Kogis comes right back. We're seeing some great defense here tonight. Very aggressive play on the part of both teams.
And now Baltimore's Earl the Pearl Monroe, number 10, replaces number 21 Dave Bing of the Detroit Pistons for the East. Kogis has 2 points thus far, 6 feet 6 inches tall. His second All-Star appearance. Kojis. 88-85, 11-13 left in the game.
I think it is significant, Chris, that we haven't seen Wilt Chamberlain for a long time, so he is well rested over there on the West bench, and I expect he'll be back in this ball game.
3 bullets now are on the Eastern quintet. This is one of them, Earl Monroe. The other was Unseld, and the other trying for the rebound was Johnson. Now Len Wilkins of Providence College. The battle goes on. Greer, 3-on-1. Johnson, number 25. And look at Sloan bulldogging. Jerry Sloan.
The shorter Jerry Sloan, not giving Gus Johnson a chance to sit up and take advantage of that height, go up and over him.
Hey, one. And one.
Knocked out by Hal Greer. As far as turnovers, 18 for each team. Elvin Hayes of Houston.
One. Oh. Go, Pearl.
Sloan of the Chicago Bulls with 10.5 minutes left. It is tied again at 88 all.
God.
Kogis. Jerry Sloan, number 4. LaRusso, 35.
Here you see a great battle. You see Wes Unseld forcing Elvin Hayes out, but he hit the jumper that time. But Unseld is forcing Hayes out more than he normally would be playing, and utilizing that weight advantage to great advantage.
Now the West is in the lead, 90-88. Hal Greer, driving, is fouled by Len Wilkins, who now has 3 personals. Our live color coverage comes to you from Civic Center in Baltimore. Oscar Robertson waiting to come into the lineup. Greer looking for his first point of the game. There it is. Now it's 90-89. Len Wilkins. Hayes. It was Billy Cunningham on the rebound. A left-hand pass to Monroe, guarded by Sloan. It's good, and Sloan fouls Earl the Pearl.
Once again, we saw Earl Monroe at his best. There you see him with the ball, putting a little fake, stopping, hesitating on Sloan, and then just going up and in for an easy move. He had Jerry Sloan relaxed for a minute and took advantage of it, coming right back for the basket. Earl Monroe.
12 points in the game, 3 of 10 from the field. He was the East's second leading vote getter in All-Star balloting, trailing only Bill Russell. He averaged 41.5 points as a senior at Winston-Salem College. That's Bill Russell. Back in the East lineup, along with Oscar Robertson. LaRusso guarded by Johnson. Sloan. Hayes. LaRusso. 92 all. Here is Monroe. Off balance, still scores.
You know, it's very, very interesting, Chris. You watch Monroe and you recognize the great similarity that he has to Oscar Robertson, a great capacity to hesitate, disarm the defensive man, and then take advantage of the relaxing on the part of the defensive man to put the shot up and in.
Elvin Hayes rebounding. Sloan and Kogis. LaRusso. 94-92, the East back in the lead with 8:57 to go. Len Wilkins. Again. Kogis. And Richie Guerin, the coach of the West, gets off the bench and asks for his team to call for a timeout as Monroe commits his 4th foul. So with 8:46 left in the ball game, the East in a thriller has a 2-point lead on the West, 94-92.
Mr. Moss, what do you like best about our country?
San Francisco, Nancy Sinatra, and your telephones. You know, no matter how many numbers you've got to dial, your telephone system doesn't often foul them up. There's no waiting for hours to get a call through and then finish up with the wrong number anyway. You get the right one at the first go. From my point of view, that's pretty unusual. I wonder if you Yanks realize just how lucky you are.
Our nationwide telephone network is unusual in a couple of other ways, too, Mr. Moss. Over our network, anything goes. People talk, computer talk, pictures and drawings, anything, instantly, anytime, anywhere.
Your anywhere, anything, anytime network. AT&T.
She must be rooting east with a 2-point lead. You'll enjoy ABC's unique and revolutionary concept in ski racing on Friday night, January 24th. Stars of France and the United States going against one another instead of the clock, side-by-side competition from Aspen, Colorado. That's Friday, January 24th, 9, 8 Central Time. French-American Challenge Cup ski race on ABC. Kogis at the line. 94-92, 8:46 left in the game. Along the lane, it's Sloan and Hayes. Russell deep on the far side, while on the near side it is Gus Johnson for the East. Tied again. 10th time that the ball game has been tied up. Now Earl Monroe guarded by Wilkins. Jack, I would say he has to have the fastest hands in the league, Wilkins.
He is regarded by the players in the league as having the fastest hands. And there you saw an example of Earl Monroe, a great ball handler, deflecting the ball away from him.
Kogis tapping it to Hayes. Hayes to Wilkins. Cunningham trying to tie up Kogis. Sloan, Kogis. Sloan. Johnson of Baltimore on the rebound. 5 rebounds for Gus. Robertson. Cunningham couldn't get to it. 8:05 left in the game. It's Sloan, LaRusso, Elvin Hayes, Don Kogis, and Lynn Wilkins for the West. Robertson, Monroe, Johnson, Cunningham, and Russell for the East. Russo. Kogis.
Chris, we have a great battle going on between Russell and Elvin Hayes. Russell respecting Hayes' ability to shoot from the outside, guarding him very close, as well he should. The leading scorer in the NBA with over 30 points a game.
Joe Gashu spots a foul. Cunningham. Correction. Gus Johnson picking up his second personal of the ball game with about 7.5 left. 96-94, West leading.
Jerry Sloan on the line.
Jerry Sloan at the line.
1 shot.
From McLeansboro, Illinois. Graduate of Evansville. Still living in that city. And he has proven tonight that he is one of the top defensive guards in the NBA.
Very highly regarded as a defensive player and elevated to a starter tonight with the injury to Jerry West.
And he had to get around a Johnson pick, and now a switch as he moves to Johnson, and Robertson is picked up by LaRusso and Hayes to no avail.
And there you saw the move that I was referring to before with Earl Monroe. Robertson hesitating, drawing the defensive man up, in this instance Elvin Hayes, and then going up, not so much interested in the shot, but trying to draw the foul, as he did in this case, but he made the shot too.
Oscar Robertson now has 21 points, winner of the Most Valuable Player Award in 1961 and 64. And I would say in the running for the award again. East leading 97-96. Cunningham trying to steal it from Kogis. Sloan. Russell. But Kogis again. Johnson. Cunningham. Johnson trying to bat it in. His teammate from Baltimore, Monroe, to Cunningham. Wilkins. Knocking it out of bounds. So the East, leading by 1, has the ball.
The East perhaps overpassing on that play. Billy Cunningham with a shot, deciding to pass to Gus Johnson, having it deflected out of bounds. Gus working one-on-one against Rudy LaRusso.
6:44 left in the game. LaRusso fouling Gus Johnson, LaRusso's third personal. And Johnson goes to the foul line. Native of Akron, Ohio, played at Idaho. While he was in high school in Akron, he played with Nate Thurman. He has 5 points and 6 rebounds.
Now the East with John Havlicek. There you see Gus's rebounding average, 11.4. But Wilt Chamberlain now coming back into the game for the West, replacing Elvin Hayes. And for the East, John Havlicek. The East perhaps going to go to the running game that was so successful for them in the first quarter. And of course the West countering with Wilt Chamberlain, who brought the West back in the second quarter. So we should have a real fight down to the wire, Chris.
Okay, Jack. Elgin Baylor is in the lineup for the West, along with Jeff Mullins. Hayes and Kogis getting a rest now. Robertson. Timing is perfect.
Look at Oscar. He's fired up. He's clapping his hands. He's waving his fist. These players are fired up here, Chris. There's a lot of pride in this game. And as we heard at the luncheon this afternoon, Richie Guerin and Gene Shue both, their teams were higher than a kite.
He makes sensational plays look routine. The native of Indianapolis, where his high school team won the Indiana State basketball title, and on to Cincinnati University to win NCAA championships. Wow. Baylor. Oh! All the superlatives for this man, too. Baylor with 17 points. So the battle for the MVP. Monroe. Chamberlain. 101-98 with about 6 minutes left in the ball game. Mullins. Chamberlain. Havlicek. Oscar Robertson. Earl Monroe. Sloan guarding Monroe. Foul called. And Gene Shue, the Bullets coach, coaching the Eastern All-Stars, would like a timeout. Monroe limping now, coming off the deck as Sloan commits his 5th foul.
There's Monroe on this drive, going on Sloan, going up and in, and Sloan hitting him. There you see the contact with the body. Sloan going back, and Earl Monroe going down on the floor. Coming down on that knee. Chris, he has arthritis in that knee.
All right, Jack Twyman with 5:53 remaining in the ball game. Let's pause for a moment. The East is in the lead by 101-98.
Good to get home. Everything okay?
Fine, just fine.
The roses died, Daddy.
Oh, how come?
Heat from the fire in the garage.
How'd that happen?
Sparks from the house, I suppose.
The house?
Well, the explosion in the basement started it.
I think it was the burglar.
What burglar?
Oh, the police caught him.
One policeman tripped on my skate.
Oh, but he's going to be fine, just fine.
Isn't this our street?
Well, it used to be.
We live in a hotel now, Daddy.
Don't worry, dear. Our Allstate homeowners insurance is even paying for the hotel bill until the house is fixed.
Allstate Deluxe Homeowners Insurance protects against loss from more hazards than you can count for less money than most companies charge.
Talk to the good hands people. You're in good hands with Allstate.
And now down the stretch in the 19th annual NBA All-Star Basketball Game. Lead has
On the line, Earl Monroe.
changed hands several times. We've had 10 ties. With 5:53 left in the game, it's 101-98, the East in the lead. Earl Monroe, who learned basketball on the playgrounds in the city of Philadelphia, is at the line with now scoring 16 points. 17. Rudy LaRusso, Jeff Mullins, Joe Caldwell, Will Chamberlain, and Baylor as Russell guards Chamberlain. Monroe. Gus Johnson. Beautiful.
There's a play Baltimore fans have seen many times. Earl Monroe hitting his teammate, Gus Johnson.
Elgin Baylor. And Johnson with the rebound. Lead pass to Havlicek. Look at Monroe. He tried to retrieve the ball.
Earl talking things over there with the Baltimore Riders.
A sellout crowd here. And they put press row right at the sidelines. Believe me, it's close. 5:21 left in the game as we look at Duke University's Jeff Mullins of Lexington, Kentucky. Now, Joe Caldwell from Texas City, Texas, and Arizona State gives to Will Chamberlain. Caldwell, Baylor. Here's Johnson. They go to Johnson. (107-98). The East on top. Less than 5 to go. And of course, the crowd here would be favoring the East, and they're letting their feelings known. Chamberlain of the West.
There's that great strength. The East sagging a little bit, forcing the West to shoot from outside, and as a result, Gus Johnson inside to help on the rebound. Jeff Mullins.
107-100. Here's the East again. Johnson. A one-shot foul coming up. Next year, the All-Star game will be in Philadelphia. Gus Johnson.
That's his fourth penalty shot.
10 points. Now 11.
Gus having a big year for Baltimore, averaging 19 a game and 11 rebounds a game.
Elgin Baylor across the 10-second line to Caldwell. Now Jeff Mullins back to Caldwell. And Lou Hudson, who came into the ball game during the timeout, makes it 108-102, only 6 points separating these two great teams. Robertson. Chamberlain. Not only the ball, but Robertson down. Here's Monroe. Using Chamberlain's outstretched hand for a sight of an in.
And you saw him elevate the arc on the shot, trying to get it over Chamberlain's hand, as he did.
A standing ovation for Earl the Pearl Monroe, Gus Johnson, and the Eastern All-Stars. We have a timeout at Civic Center. The East leading by 8, 110-102.
Shell's hidden camera rolls again. Mr. Lyle Schaefer doesn't know that that dealer is really comedian Tom O'Malley, who's going to challenge his choice of Super Shell.
Super Shell? You must not do much driving.
I drove automobiles since I was 16 years old, and I'm 70 years old. And I know what kind of gas my automobile will burn, what I can get out of it, the mileage that I can get, and everything like that. I know, because I use it.
Well, what have you been buying, though?
I buy Super Shell, and it works in my automobile.
And how do you know it works? I mean, tell me.
How do I know? I get.
I can learn.
Well, I get mileage.
Do you get bad or do you get good mileage?
I get good mileage with it. If I didn't, I wouldn't drive it or anything. I wouldn't buy it.
Thanks, Mr. Lyle Schaefer, for judging us on our merits. For good mileage, get Super Shell. It goes a long way.
Baltimore Bullet fans galore here in Civic Center in this nifty Maryland city. for the 19th annual NBA All-Star Game. And with 3:38 to go, the East 110, the West 102. And the ball game has been tied up 12 times. The lead has changed hands 7, as Oscar Robertson now has 23 points for the East. Monroe 19, and for the West, Baylor has 16. The West with the ball. Here's Chamberlain coming to a high post. Baylor is fouled from behind by Gus Johnson of the Bullets, number 25.
And in this quarter, Gus has been great off the boards. He and Bill Russell getting the rebounds, getting it out to his backcourt of Earl Monroe and Oscar Robertson. How would you like to have a backcourt like that, Chris? Two great shooters, great passers, and they've worked very well together here in the Eastern lineup.
Baylor. Last year, the East humiliated the West at Madison Square Garden, 144 to 124. Baylor now 8 of 9 from the line, 17 points, 18. 3:32 left in the game, 110 to 104. East leading. Robertson.
Okay, one go. One.
Gus Johnson.
One go.
For the forwards, along with Havlicek, while Monroe and Robertson are the guards, backcourt men. Johnson.
Gus twisted his ankle driving across. There you see a shot of the ankle. He twisted his ankle driving across the middle, catching it on Elgin Baylor. Gus Johnson holding that ankle, his left ankle. He can't put any pressure on. I think he hurt his ankle pretty badly. Gene Shue out there.
Jack, let's take a look at it again.
Here's the move. There you see Gus coming across the top of the key, going up, and then catching his leg as he goes up. No, it was Caldwell. He caught his leg on Caldwell, throwing him off balance. There you see him going down, twisting his leg on Joe Caldwell, who caught him from behind. There he goes to the floor and he'll grab his ankle.
He deserves that round of applause. Johnson with 11 points and a very exciting ball player. His team, the Baltimore Bullets, lead the Eastern Division by 3 games. And of course, Gus does not want to go to the bench.
No, it's a rule, Chris, when a player is injured, as Gus was, he has to shoot the foul. And Normie Drucker now, the time called by the East, but Normie Drucker wanting to have Gus Johnson shoot the foul.
Well, we have 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the ball game. The East is in the lead, 110 to 104.
Part of the fun of going to a dog show is looking at the people. Wherever you find people having fun, you'll find Winston. Winston, America's largest selling cigarette. Because it's what's up front that counts. And up front, only Winston has golden filter blend tobaccos for the best taste in filter cigarettes.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Like your cigarette should.
3:15 left in the ball game. The East leading the West, 110 to 104. Team's about ready to come out now. We have quite a team. For ABC, the executive producer is Rune Arledge. This NBA All-Star Game produced by Chet Forty, directed by Andy Sedaris. Associate directors Don Olmeyer, Larry Cam, technical director Bob Bernthal, unit manager Dave Holman, assistants to the producer Jeff Mason and Carol Letty. Gus Johnson, who injured his ankle, hit that one from the line, make it 111 to 104. And Gus shaking off the injury as Joe Caldwell for the West has the ball. They trail by 8 points now with about 3 minutes to go. This is Jeff Mullins. Caldwell to Baylor. Coming around to Chamberlain's screen, picked up by Bill Russell now. Knocked out of bounds. by Monroe.
Now with 2:57, time becomes the big factor. The East looking to slow it down, enjoying an 8-point lead. The West, however, will apply the pressure on defense, trying to get down and bring the score back closer than 8 points. John Havlicek.
Havlicek, Robertson, and now Earl Monroe. Guarded by Baylor. And here comes Billy Cunningham for the Eastern All-Stars, giving Gus Johnson a much-needed rest because of the injured ankle. The East on an out-of-bounds play. Havlicek.
17, John Havlicek.
2:37 left in the ball game as the East now leads by 10. Caldwell. Robertson. Rebounding to Havlicek, to Monroe. 116 to 104. 2:18 to go. Now it's Lou Hudson. Baylor. Lou Hudson of the Atlanta Hawks, Elgin Baylor of the Los Angeles Lakers.
And the East, Chris, here finishing the game as they started it with that blazing fast break, relying on Bill Russell to get the rebounds, getting it out to Earl Monroe and Oscar Robertson for the fast break baskets.
At the end of the first quarter, the East led by 16 points. At halftime, they led by 7. At the end of 3 quarters, they led by 3. Then the West went ahead. Elgin Baylor, 11 of 12 tonight from the foul line.
Oscar Robertson slowing it up. The quarterback for the East trying to use the time a little bit, setting it up with a good shot.
Havlicek, a minute 57 left in the ball game. The East leading by 12 points. The West, Joe Caldwell. Finding Baylor, Jeff Mullins, and Oscar Robertson. Havlicek. Baylor to Mullins, to Hudson. The West having trouble finding the hoop as we have John McLaughlin, Wes Unseld, and Hal Greer coming into the lineup for the East. Oscar Robertson comes out of the ball game. His team leading by 12. Earl Monroe and Bill Russell congratulate one another. They're met by their coach, Gene Shue. Oscar with 24 points. Here's the West now. Lou Hudson. Can't shake Havlicek. Baylor to Mullins. 118 to 108. Minute 22 to go. Sunday, our NBA Game of the Week telecast from Philadelphia. Hal Greer and the 76ers meeting San Francisco Warriors. Here's Greer.
Before. No shot.
Hal Greer will go to the line to get one shot with a minute 10 to go.
His third penalty. Hal Greer.
The East tonight, Chris, using the fast break beautifully. A great hand for Russell and Earl Monroe and Oscar Robertson, and deservedly so. They work the fast break to perfection, and as a result are enjoying an 11-point lead here in the closing minutes.
The East in this series, in 18 games, they've won 12, while the West has won 6. And in the 18 All-Star games, the visiting team has only won 3 times. The voting is in now with 56 seconds left in the ball game. See if the MVP balloting by the press coincides with your judgment of the top player in this game. The MVP for the 3rd time, joining his 61 triumph and again in 64, Oscar Robertson of the Cincinnati Royals.
And he has been superb this evening. He was setting up the plays, scoring, and working on the fast break with Earl Monroe.
32.
So with 40 seconds to go, it's 121 to 110. Our thanks to Jerry Kapstein and our longtime spotter Bill Friel here in Baltimore for their help. Chamberlain. Battling. 28 seconds left in the game as we look at Oscar Robertson, the most valuable player, alongside his Cincinnati Royal teammate Jerry Lucas. Well, out on the court, Billy Cunningham of the 76ers. Losing it to Jeff Mullins. Mullins long to Caldwell. 121 to 112. For the East, it's McLaughlin, Hal Greer, Havlicek, Cunningham, and Unsold. For the West, Jeff Mullins, Caldwell, Baylor, Chamberlain, and Lou Hudson.
We've seen some great individual performance here this evening. Of course, Oscar Robertson winning the MVP. Haskell Cohen at our right with the gigantic trophy that will be awarded to Oscar at the conclusion of the game. A great performance by Will Chamberlain, Wes Unseld, Earl Monroe, Gus Johnson. A superb evening for any basketball fan here in Baltimore.
And we certainly hope you enjoyed it wherever you are tonight. 4 seconds left in the ball game. 123 to 112. Out of bounds, the West. Jeff Mullins. Knocked away by Greer, who's looking for his first field goal. And so, the final score is the East 123, the West 112. And now this is Chris Schenkel along with Jack Twyman saying so long from Baltimore. Air travel arrangements made through in promotional consideration furnished by TWA, the sportsman's airline. Whether you're a sports spectator or participant, TWA is your kind of airline. We go where the action is. The NBA All-Star Game was brought to you by Winston, now America's largest selling cigarette of any kind, filter or non-filter. Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. By the Shell Oil Company, makers of Super Shell, the gasoline for good mileage, Super Shell and the clean white pump wherever you see the sign. And by Allstate Insurance Companies, for insurance to protect your car, your home, your life, and health, business too. You're in good hands with Allstate. This has been an ABC Television Network sports presentation.